All right, welcome back to the Carton Show. I cannot believe we're bringing the Jets up, but we have to because this is, at least on the surface, dysfunction at its very, very best. So a report comes out yesterday that the New York Jets had decided that Boyle's not the answer, Trevor Siemian's not the answer. With a few games left this year, we're going to go back to Zach Wilson because of the three quarterbacks we got. Let's be honest, he gives us the best chance to win. The story then was put out there that sources among the Jets said Zach Wilson told Robert Saleh he doesn't want to play. Or at least he intimated to his teammates that he's reluctant to get back on the field. Let me walk you through what is factual. Zach Wilson, unannounced, went to Robert Saleh's office yesterday and said, I want to play. Please give me the ball. I believe I'm the best quarterback we have on this roster. At no point did he intimate or directly say to any member of the coaching staff or the general manager, I'd rather not go back in the game because I'm afraid of being injured. There's also a notion out there that he said he didn't want to play and that Aaron Rodgers called him and convinced him he was making a mistake. He did speak to Aaron Rodgers, but it wasn't about that.
Right.
At no point did Zach Wilson ever tell anybody of importance that he does not want to play or is reluctant to get back on the field? Number two, I spoke to Robert Saleh last night. If Zach Wilson had gone to anybody with the New York Jets and said, I'd rather not play because I'm concerned about getting injured or whatever the nonsense story that was out there, he would have been cut on the spot. He would not be a New York Jet today. So where are we? We got bad rumors circulating about Zach Wilson, and then there's this reality. He is the best quarterback on the New York Jets, which, of course, is akin to being the tallest dwarf in the circus. Who really cares? But he is the best quarterback. He does give them the best option. And what's fascinating about this story is that everyone bought into it without anybody checking. And I'm not suggesting the reporters invented it. I'm sure someone on the team, spoke to them and said, hey, this is what I'm hearing. So I'm not attacking the credibility of the report. I've been a beat reporter. I know what it's like. People question your sources. This one, though, has been outright denied by all the people involved. Zach Wilson and Robert Saleh, right? So we can put that to bed, I hope, at this point. But here's what's really interesting. The Jets know that Zach Wilson right now gives them the best chance to win. I would suggest they lose out because it gives us a better chance of getting a future quarterback. But how about the fact that here we are on Tuesday, and they're not sure if they're going to play him? Meaning they know he's the best quarterback, but they're not committed to putting him back on the field.
Yeah, the bottom line is, if the narrative is true, do you blame him for not wanting to go back out there?
I do. It ends his career. And that's another reason why I thought the story was BS when I first heard it. If you're an embattled young quarterback that a lot of people view as one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, maybe of all time, right, who's been given all this rope to prove that you're an NFL quarterback. And while, yes, you've made some strides and all that stuff, you basically have the worst offense in football history, right? If it came out and it was factual that you told the team, I'd rather not play, your career ends that day. Because what other franchise is going to ever take a flyer on you when you're the guy that said, I'd rather not play? So think about it from that standpoint. 25-year-old kid, competitive kid, who wants to be on the field, right? That kid's going to go to a coach and say, I'd rather not play? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. At any level, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that when the story came out, I was just like, what is Zach doing? And the other half, because I watched the whole game last Sunday and how bad the offense looked in totality, and considering that Zach Wilson is up at the end of the season, part of me was like, thought about business. Like, hey, man, why would I go out there and get hurt when I'm literally going to go out in the spring, in the summertime, and fight for a new job? And why I'm already behind the 8 ball because of my reputation. So I understood it from a business standpoint, but I totally agree with you. You can't do it because of what the Jets have done.
Willie, everything I know about you as a player, you would never have accepted a guy in your locker room who told the coach,
I get that.
I'm reluctant to play.
I'm 100%. Right? I'm just talking about if I was Zach Wilson's agent and I had to pull him like, listen, kid, get out of this game. It's over. The Jets are over. On the new pasture. I'm just talking if I was his agent, that's how I would talk.
I get
As
that.
a teammate, I totally agree with you.
If you're a college player about to be drafted and you don't play in a bowl game, I can totally understand that because that injury risk can really take
By the way, I can't, but I get your point.
Yeah, we'll move on. Yeah. But in this particular case, you are a Zach Wilson level quarterback. You're auditioning to the rest of the league to be a backup next year.
Sure.
You don't have that many opportunities to put stuff on tape that gets you that job. And if you're wearing the uniform, you're cashing the paychecks. And I understand why they went to Tim Boyle. I understand why they went from Boyle to Simeon. And I understand now why they want to go back to Wilson. It just makes football sense.
But there's also this narrative that you can't go back. You can totally go back to Zach Wilson.
Yeah, why
like
not?
A lot of people's like, oh, how could you go back? You benched him.
Because we saw the other options, gave him a shot.
100%.
Yeah, and I'll do you one better. I got a chance to watch what they call the All-22 film yesterday. It's basically a bird's eye view, so you can see every player on the field at once, for those of you that never heard of it before. There were 6 plays in the last Jet game where Tim Boyle had guys wide open, no joke, for touchdowns. 6.
Seriously.
And if I even say one of them, maybe the guy would have been tackled. There were 5 explosive play opportunities where guys would have scored touchdowns, 3 of them to Garrett Wilson, and Tim Boyle couldn't pull the trigger and throw the ball. He's dead. Why is he here? Because Aaron Rodgers is the de facto GM, and Aaron Rodgers brought him here as a security blanket for him and to do a friend of solid, which I totally respect and understand the loyalty in sports. But this is crazy. And if you're the Jets, you're like, now I got to have a press conference to answer rumors that aren't true.
Well, not even that. Think about big picture. If Aaron Rodgers gets hurt again and Zach Wilson's out the building, you still have Tim Boyle there. At some point
next year,
Boyle will not be here.
You have to clean house.
Yes.
Listen, Boyle will not be here next year. There's a chance Zach's not here next year.
Zach won't be there. Boyle won't be there.
Don't forget, Zach got a 4-year guaranteed contract as a first-round draft pick, but he probably won't be here next year. There will be a veteran backup behind Aaron Rodgers next year. You can book that for sure. But I want to get that dysfunction out of the way early today because I'm in a fantastic mood, and I don't want to talk about negative things or dysfunction or bad teams. So we'll only do it 2 more times today, and then we'll be all good. Hey there. Thank you so much for watching The Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.